Isn't this just the worst? I know, it sounds crazy. The premise of the video, crazy bonkers, insane, but ever since I've been a kid, I haven't liked travel. Hold on, let's get that Sonic footage going. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, last week I uploaded a no commentary Sonic footage, and I thought like maybe that would pop off. I don't know. I'm not like super crazy about uploading no commentary footage, but I would be down to put up a long play once I got the footage of the whole game. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about vacations, if that was not obvious. And just to kind of dive right into it, my first point is you could just see anything you could want to see on Google Images. I know, that's crazy. But also, a VR headset, it's gonna cost you a lot less money than a ticket to Japan, and I know what the main counterpoint to this is. Jake, first of all, you're stupid. You don't have the depth of field in the VR headset. You can't really see it, even though you basically get 90% of the experience of looking at a thing. It's not about just looking at the thing, it's about being there. It's about seeing the sights, smelling the smells, tasting the food. It's clear that when people say they want to see the world, they actually mean they want to experience the world. They want to go to the beach and touch the sand. They want to go to the cool deer forest where they bow their heads at you and you like pet them, but they're a little too aggressive and it's like, dude, come on. But like, you know, it's still an experience you want to have. And before I go on, I just want you to ask yourself, how long would the perfect vacation be? I'll give you a second. I'd argue most people would be like forever, obviously, but nah, dude, you get so burnt out when you just aren't working. I mean, it's a known phenomena of retirees. You gotta do something, and it has to have some purpose, even if it's just like volunteering, like not sheer economic output, but just having an impact on the world around you is important to feel fulfilled as a person. And that's the opposite of what you do on vacation. Not that I think you shouldn't get a weekend or anything. I'm totally into weekends. I got a weekend going on right now. That's how I'm able to make this video. There's this study conducted by Dr. Tali Sharot, the director of UCL's Effective Brain Lab, that found that people on vacation tend to have their excitement peak. The best part of their whole vacation occurs within 43 hours. Just let that sink in. Like, if you take a 5-day vacation, that's 120 hours of vacationing, and you pretty much got the peak, which really defines your experience in the first 43. I think the peak defines the experience, at least. Like, it's not just an average of like, yeah, I was doing pretty good. It's like the memory that sticks out in your mind that you really get from the experience of a vacation. And for me, that's one of the big reasons that I haven't been a huge vacation head. I just don't get that much from looking at the Eiffel Tower or like touching my doggies on the beach sand, you know? Like, it's cool, don't get me wrong. If there was a beach right next to me, I'd go for it. But like, I think that I have my peak experiences just playing video games. Maybe I'm a huge nerd, maybe I'm unrelatable to the masses for that, but like, to me, there's no sweeter memory than like playing a round of zombies, COD Zombies with the boys late night, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah!
This guy does. Where there's that super satisfying feeling of like when you're playing Sonic and you're in the water part and you're like about to run out of air, but then you just get the air. That part's really awesome. But moving on to my second point. The people you love most are gonna be at home. I mean, at least for me, and I think most other people, they live nearby their family and their friends. I mean, it's just easier to have friends all around you where you live because that's probably where you made them. I think that for that reason, taking a vacation with your friends is like the way to do it. The best vacations I've ever had were with the homies. But it's still a sacrifice of that time with other people. I mean, at least for me, I spend a lot of my time moving between different groups of people. Like I have different little segments of my week carved out for the people I care about the most. Especially when you're on vacation with family, it's like, I just kind of miss my friends, I miss my partner. Family's great, don't get me wrong, but it's also guaranteed to have like a fight and somebody gets upset and nobody can agree on the restaurant, and oh my god, dude, just eat the fucking cheeseburger. You can't have chicken tenders for every meal. You need to expand your palate. Speaking of arguments and frustrations, there's all the hassles of traveling. Everybody knows it. You get jet lag. You get stuck in the airport, and so many people hate the airport. I'm sure some people clicked away from this video when I just had the B-roll of the airport at the beginning of it. Like, the whole idea is that you just relax, and it's like the rejuvenation from work. Like, because work's supposed to exhaust you so much, and then you're showing up after sleeping 7 hours in an airport chair. Are you kidding me? Look at this thing. You are not gonna tell me you're refreshed after sitting around and it's like, oh, I didn't figure out my flight and it got delayed and blah 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 blah. Like, it's just stressful, man. And then you gotta like unpack all your stuff and you gotta use the little toothbrush, and I just like the little pleasures of home. It's not true for everybody, but there are studied effects, like the first night effect, where people have been shown to sleep worse in beds other than the one they're used to sleeping in. And that kind of makes sense just evolutionarily. If you're sleeping in a new spot, your brain has to be a little bit more alert, a little lighter of a sleeper, so that you can make sure that place is safe. I mean, obviously that's not as true now. Some people sleep better in hotel beds, but for me, as a general rule, I just get worse sleep, and that kind of dampens the mood. My last point is that travel isn't going to lead to me feeling fulfilled. It's just going to serve as sort of a distraction from my daily life. It lets me not think about things, which might be nice if I'm like going through it, but what am I gonna do? I'm gonna come back to whatever my life was before then. I hope I don't sound too preachy or like I'm on my high horse, but I do think it's more worth it personally, not necessarily for everyone, to build stronger relationships right where I'm at, because that's where I'm going to spend 90% of my time anyways. There's so many things I guarantee I haven't done in my city. Even though I'm here 90% of the time, I'm just doing the same thing every day. I go to work, I go to the same grocery stores because I'm like, yeah, I know Aldi's got the good deals on the meats, man. I know they got the good deals. Why on earth would I try out Hen House? There's no reason, but then my life ends up being all samey, and it's like, I could build nicer things here is all I'm saying. Like, I don't think vacationing should be the answer to boredom, you know, like, because I'm just gonna come right back to it. And you just can't vacation forever. Whereas when I play video games, man, I can just do that. Like, look at this Sonic gameplay, dude. This is not the most visually stimulating thing you've seen all day. I mean, I'm mesmerized by it, and I'm the guy playing it. I feel like when I do go on vacation and experience that initial sort of heightened moment, that 43 hours in precisely, no, it's not actually that precise, but like on average, you know, you get to that point where like you've been building all this excitement up, and then you're like, I'm on the beach. When you ask people what their favorite part of the vacation was, it's always like, oh, the first time I it's like first time I stepped on the beach, the first time I sat down my stuff and walked into the hotel and it looked so nice. It's always the first time, not the second or the third. Once you kind of acclimate to wherever you're at, you're back at the baseline that you started with, and you just kind of just get disappointed when you come back home and have to deal with the home being like not restaurants. It's just your typical Lunchables, fucking Uncrustables ass, dog food ass meal prep. Man, I really gotta learn how to cook chicken, dude. And what's worse than being disappointed by home is being disappointed by your tourist destination. That's right, sometimes when you go on vacation, It actually makes you worse than if you just didn't go on vacation. Have you ever heard of Paris syndrome? It's a real psychiatric disorder that occurred especially in Japanese visitors to Paris, France. The culture shock was just so insanely acute that people would have delusions, hallucinations. They pretty much just get a panic attack when they show up and it's not what they expected to such an extreme extent. It just blows their mind. It's something worth considering, especially if you're going somewhere with a language barrier, or if you drop thousands and thousands of dollars on a plane ticket. It's like, man, that better be worth it. It better blow my mind away. And then it's just like such a high bar to clear. And like I've talked about in my other video, which you should check out, I'm linking it at the card right now. Expectations are the enemy of happiness. And not only that, so that's my argument. Obviously, there's a lot of cool things that could occur during vacation, but the possibilities are endless. And I understand the majority of people I ask that are, I'm like, what do you want to do? What are your big goals in life? They're like, I want to travel the world. It's pretty much the most common response I get. I got it during the haircut I got today. Here's a photo. Sheesh, looking fresh, my boy. Dang. I understand people got differing perspectives, but honestly, it's just baked into my DNA. Maybe you guys can argue why it's so good, and I could finally get it in the comment section below, but I don't know, man. I just doubt it, because ever since I was a little boy, my parents would be like, yo, man, if you're really not messing with the vacation business, we might as well not blow the money on you. You could just stay home, look after the pets, whatever. And I was stoked to do that. I was like, dude, I get the whole house to myself. Maybe I should make a separate video on like how dope it is to be home alone, because I just like living alone. I mean, I have in the past. I want to hear you guys' opinions though, so please leave a like, leave a comment, and